The spectacle of Bikini Atoll wasn't just a show of force, it was a meticulously planned experiment, Operation Crossroads. The goal? To understand the devastating power of the atomic bomb, particularly its impact on warships. Imagine this: a fleet of 95 target vessels assembled in the tranquil waters of Bikini Lagoon. This wasn't your typical naval formation. The ships were packed tightly together, 20 ships per square mile, far closer than any naval doctrine would recommend. The objective was to measure damage at various distances from the blast, creating a grim tableau of destruction. This ghost fleet was a motley assortment: 4 outdated U.S. battleships, 2 aircraft carriers, cruisers, destroyers, submarines. Even surrendered vessels from Germany and Japan were included, silent witnesses to this new form of warfare. Each ship, a floating laboratory bristling with scientific instruments to record the forces unleashed by the atom. Pressure gauges, radiation detectors, and even cameras, all capturing data from this unprecedented event. But it wasn't just equipment aboard these vessels. Hundreds of animals, pigs, goats, rats, even insects were placed on these ships, a grim necessity to study the long-term genetic impacts of radiation. Their presence, a stark reminder of the indiscriminate nature of this new weapon. On July 25, 1946, the world held its breath. Test Baker commenced. This time, the bomb, suspended beneath a landing craft, wouldn't detonate in the air, but underwater. 90 feet below the surface, in the heart of that ghost fleet, the bomb detonated. The explosion, a silent fury unleashed beneath the waves. The landing craft, vaporized in an instant, gone without a trace. A fireball, a rapidly expanding bubble of superheated gas, surged outwards, an unstoppable force. This wasn't just an explosion. It was a force of nature, creating a shockwave more powerful than any torpedo or mine. The pressure wave, traveling faster through water, tore through the fleet. Hulls buckled, steel twisted, as if the ships themselves were mere toys in the hands of a giant. When the gas bubble reached the surface, it erupted, creating a spectacle both terrifying and mesmerizing. A column of water, millions of tons, shot skyward, nearly 2 miles high. The spray dome, as it was called, dwarfed the surrounding ships, a geyser on an unimaginable scale. And then the mushroom cloud, ominous and awe-inspiring, a grim calling card of the atomic age. Test Baker created phenomena so unusual, so unexpected, that scientists had to invent new terms to describe them. It wasn't just the explosion. It was the shockwaves, the radiation, the lingering effects that made Bikini Atoll a turning point in our understanding of nuclear war. The Navy, witnessing the destructive power of radioactive fallout, developed new systems to decontaminate ships, a stark admission of the invisible threat unleashed that day. The violence of Test Baker wasn't confined to a fleeting explosion. The real threat, the insidious danger, came in the hours and days that followed. The once pristine lagoon, now a churning cauldron of radioactive seawater. The ships, those that remained afloat, were draped in a sinister, glistening residue, radioactive contaminants, products of the pulverized coral and bomb components, mixed with millions of gallons of seawater. This wasn't the sterile, clinical blast some had envisioned. This was a radioactive soup, and the ships, despite their distance from the epicenter, were bathed in it. The closer the vessel, the worse the contamination. Some ships, their structures compromised by the shockwave, succumbed to this invisible enemy, sinking beneath the waves, taking their radioactive secrets with them. The cleanup effort was immense, unprecedented. Divers, venturing into the contaminated waters, attempted to decontaminate the ships using fire hoses, soap, even their bare hands. But the radiation, insidious and persistent, clung to every surface, every crevice. The scientific community, observing the aftermath, were stunned by the extent of the radioactive contamination. Test Baker had revealed a chilling truth. An underwater nuclear detonation wasn't just about the blast, the heat, the shockwave. It was the silent, lingering aftermath, the invisible poison that spread through the water, the air, the very environment itself. This realization led to a fundamental shift in naval design and strategy. The U.S. Navy, recognizing the threat posed by radioactive fallout, developed the Countermeasure Washdown System, or CMWDS. Imagine this: warships equipped with a network of pipes and nozzles capable of drenching the vessel in a protective curtain of seawater, a desperate attempt to wash away the invisible enemy. This innovation, born from the unsettling lessons of Bikini Atoll, highlighted the new reality of the atomic age. Bikini Atoll, once a tranquil paradise, became a symbol of this new era, an era where the consequences of our actions could linger long after the mushroom cloud dissipated. The echoes of Test Baker resonated far beyond the lagoon, serving as a stark reminder of the responsibility and the peril inherent in wielding the power of the atom. The true cost of Test Baker, however, extended far beyond those battered ships. Bikini Atoll, once home to a vibrant ecosystem and a small but thriving indigenous population, was forever changed. The radiation, invisible and insidious, had seeped into the very fabric of the islands. The Bikinians, initially relocated to nearby atolls, soon discovered the devastating consequences of their displacement. The promised temporary relocation stretched into decades, their traditional way of life, inextricably linked to their homeland, disrupted. They faced food shortages, inadequate housing, and the lingering fear of radiation exposure. Their story, a tragic reminder of the human cost often hidden behind the spectacle of military might. The story of Bikini Atoll doesn't end there. It became a focal point for the growing anti-nuclear movement. The images of those ghost ships, the stories of the displaced Bikinians, served as a stark counterpoint to the sanitized narratives of the atomic age. Test Baker, initially hailed as a scientific triumph, became a symbol of the unforeseen and far-reaching consequences of nuclear testing. Today, Bikini Atoll stands as a testament to the enduring legacy of the nuclear age. The islands, though still exhibiting elevated levels of radiation, are a stark and hauntingly beautiful reminder of the power we wield and the responsibility that comes with it. Test Baker, a single detonation in a remote corner of the Pacific, forced the world to confront the uncomfortable realities of the atomic age. It shattered the illusion of a bloodless, clinical form of warfare, revealing the potential for widespread and long-lasting environmental and human consequences. The legacy of Bikini Atoll serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder that the true cost of nuclear weapons extends far beyond the blast radius, echoing through generations and across the very fabric of our planet.